Hey everybody, what's happening? I'm Adam. This is Go To Outdoors, and I am once again in the woods. Today what I'm trying to do is get a couple last glimpses of a great sunset during fall at Bear's Den. So hang tight, I'll bring you back when I get up to the top. It's a pretty one. It's a breezy one. At an average of about 15 knots of wind for the better part of the day. So unfortunately a lot of the leaves and stuff down here kind of got blown off a bit earlier than I would have hoped, but the sunset's shaping up to look pretty nice. So I'm gonna get the GoPro out, set up a time lapse, and yeah, just enjoy myself for a little bit. So I kind of wish I'd brought a few more hand warmers. Yeah, it's a little bit of a chilly one. It's about 42 degrees right now. It's gonna be dropping down to about 37, probably less than 30 or less than 40 by the time I leave here. But you know, that's why we do it out here. Just enjoy the moment. And this is definitely one of my favorite places just to come and enjoy a sunset. It's been some time since I was able to actually do it, you know, in fall or winter, because I'm usually too busy, or I lived farther away from here, or dogfight, or I was just too cold and didn't have the right gear. But today I have the right gear. Like I said, only missing some hand warmers. But yeah, here's the view once more. I'll zip you out there. Sorry about the wind. And that's what I'm out here to see. That right there. But yeah, just no matter what life throws at you, sometimes you just have to sit down and appreciate the moment. Not enough people are doing that these days. Breezy. But it's a good sunset. So, it's a good sunset, but it is cold. I was wrong. It has dropped down to 37 degrees. I was not expecting that. Hence the aforementioned lack of extra hand warmers. My gloves are still in the truck. So what I'm gonna do is walk back there and rectify mistake pronto. But hopefully I was able to get the footage that I needed off of my GoPro. So if I did, you'll see a pretty awesome time lapse. Otherwise, I'll catch you when I get home and find something else to talk about. Side note, when there's this many leaves on the trail, the rocks can get slippery, especially the rocks you do not see. I'll get back. Kind of forgot where this blue blaze goes. Yes, I cheated today. I was in a time crunch, had to make it out for the sunset, so I parked at Bear's Den. I didn't hike in from Snickers Gap. Fight me. Besides, if I'd done that, I probably would have been sweaty and gotten even colder. That's what you have to balance this time of year. Great. Someone's enjoying some jazz cabbage. Whatever. Not a great smell. But here we go. One quick thing I want to mention. It's cold. I didn't want to mention that it's cold. What I did want to mention is right here, there is a little $3 per day parking pass, and even if you're just there for a couple minutes, make sure you put a couple dollars in there. Just because you are using their parking lot here, and this is their little office or area, so you never want to take advantage of some place that you can come visit like this on the Appalachian Trail, because that'll make them not want to let public people in anymore. But that's enough about that. I'm gonna put this away and go find something to warm up. Well, okay, well, I am home again, and unfortunately I was not able to get a really good time lapse. The tree I had my GoPro mounted on was shaking with all the wind, so it kind of wasn't worth it. But anyway, the wind and the cold is actually what I wanted to talk to you about today, because hiking and weather when it starts to get cold brings its own set of challenges. You can't really be as comfortable as you were hiking in the same shoes as you were in the summer. Like, I was even walking today in my Ultras. I was wearing my Lone Peak 5s again. And yeah, toes got cold sitting there for about an hour. I did have the right socks on. Of course, I'll wear thicker socks in the winter and fall. Don't just wear the Darn Toughs. I do wear a couple pairs of Smart Wools, 2 pairs of Smart Wools specifically. One's kind of a lightweight liner, and the other one is a heavyweight, more cushiony, lot warmer wool sock. And because for me personally, as you know, if you've watched this channel before, my feet are what I worry about the most whenever I'm hiking. When I was hiking in the summer, I carried 4 pairs of socks at all times, 2 toe socks, 2 Injinji toe socks, and 2 pairs of Darn Toughs. This time of year, I still pack 4 pairs of socks if I'm going to be going out into the woods, if I'm going to be going out doing hiking, doing things like that. So you got to make sure you keep your feet in good shape, especially this time of year, because when they start to get cold and they start to go numb from the cold, that's when you run into problems. You can injure yourself and not know it. That's a problem. Second part is you're wearing the right layers when you are hiking in this kind of weather. So you can wear a base layer, a thermal base layer. I didn't today, but I typically do. Have a base layer of both long underwear and long sleeve top. And over the top of that, I usually wear a t-shirt. Not always cotton. Most of the time, it is still that tech fabric kind of polyester, non-cotton. Because cotton, especially when you get cold, if you're sweating because it's too hot and you're wearing too much when you're hiking, that can lead to further problem like hypothermia. It's not good. It's very bad, in fact. But wearing the thermals on the bottom, wearing lighter clothes on top of that. A lot of times if I'm hiking in colder weather, I don't even wear pants on top of my thermals. I wear shorts on top of my thermals. Looks kind of silly, keeps me warm enough. If you're moving, you don't really need that much clothing on you unless there's like a really blustery, nasty wind blowing through at like 15, 20, 30 miles an hour. You don't really plan to hike in that, but it's good to have a contingency anyway. So even in my day pack, I throw a couple things in my day pack when I'm just going out doing photography, that I do include an extra pair of pants, because I'm usually just wearing shorts over thermals, and I also carry the 2 extra pairs of socks just in case, and I also carry a spare shirt. Now, a lot of times I'm just going to have my thermals, my long sleeve thermals, I'm going to have my shirt, and I'll just put a hoodie on top of that, because that's usually plenty to keep me warm enough if I'm hiking in 40 degrees or below. Because again, if you're moving, you're going to be generating heat. Now, one thing I will mention that I always have with me when I'm going on a day hike or a few days in the woods this time of year is I do carry hand warmers. I mentioned it earlier because I didn't have any, because I was just planning to go out there for a little while. I didn't have my gloves with me. Also dumb. Those are something I typically carry when I'm backpacking or hiking in the winter too. So I carry some liner gloves, I carry some thermals, I carry extra socks, and I carry an extra jacket. I typically do have a puffy wadded up, stuffed in my backpack just in case, because most of the time I'm just hiking with a thermal long sleeve shirt. I got a poly shirt, something like that on top of it, and that's usually enough underneath just a regular hoodie. Now I do have the Light Heart hoodie. Don't wear it right now because green top, green background kind of messes with what you're seeing here. Green screens don't work if you have green clothing. It's kind of makes perfect sense, actually. Yeah. Anyway, so Carrying a couple different things with you, layering is super important when you're going to be hiking or spending any amount of time outdoors this time of year. It's not just a comfort thing, it's actually a safety thing because I have come very close to getting hypothermia before. It is not awesome. The only thing that probably saved me in those occasions is the fact that I carried the hand warmers. I tucked two in my pockets, tucked two behind me, right over my kidneys, and I put some in my socks as well. It was dumb. Learned from my mistakes. Please don't make the same ones. They're not fun. But keeping warm is, of course, the biggest thing you need to worry about. Keeping your feet in good shape is the second most important thing most people have to worry about. But all in all, it's still a great time to get out and enjoy what we have available to us. The weather isn't too bad. It's not too cold yet, and of course, you can always wear more. Layering is key. But it's finally starting to feel like fall. I am super happy about that. The next couple of days, the really good hunting seasons open up again, so I will be spending a lot more time outside. I'll be doing a lot more. Alright, so camera died, had to reset, don't know exactly where I was, but anyway, like I was saying, just to wrap this up, basically what I was about to say is that you got to make sure you have enough layers with you that you can remain warm in any condition. Check the weather ahead. If you think it's going to get weird, carry some rain gear along with your warm weather gear. And I know it may seem counterintuitive, but make sure you carry water. If you're properly hydrated, it actually takes you a little bit longer to start feeling the effects of hypothermia and some of the other things, just because there's more of you to get cold. So it's just something I've worked with in the past, and it's kept me around so far. I do a lot of hunting, a lot of fishing, and a lot of stuff outdoors in the winter, and this is just what's worked for me. So if you have any questions or if you have any comments or tips, feel free to leave that down below in the comments. And that's really all I got for you today. So like I always say, thanks again for watching. Make sure you go outside and find a reason to smile today, and I'll catch you in the next one.